Okay, so what is a reliable source that we can use on Wikipedia? Sources are where we get our information, like a book or a website or an article. Wikipedia prefers secondary sources. It defines secondary sources as peer-reviewed academic review articles, newspaper articles, or textbook. Journal articles are preferred to theses or dissertation. You might be wondering what this primary research paper thing is. Wikipedia advises against using a primary research paper or isolated research study as a source. A primary research paper is one where researchers did an experiment and they report on it in the article. For example, in this primary research paper, the authors correlated the amount of airtime of country music with the rate of suicide, and they were positively correlated. But this information doesn't appear on the Wikipedia page for country music, probably because it's not good enough to just have one source to cite for that. For medical topics, a primary research paper is considered exploratory and unreliable, and it's better to use a summary article or a meta-analysis, and not a news article about one little study. For papers in the humanities, they're generally not primary research articles, so if you find an academic article in history, literature, philosophy, etc., go ahead and use it as a source. For some kinds of sources, we can only use them if we attribute them in text, for example with book reviews or opinion pieces. For this opinion piece by Mitt Romney, we could say, Mitt Romney stated in an opinion piece in the Deseret News that it is in America's interest to support Ukraine. But we couldn't go and say, it's in America's best interest to support Ukraine and cite this as a source, because that's just one person's opinion. Self-published sources like blogs or an author's about page are allowed, only as a source about themselves. So on this about page, we hear how Brandon Sanderson enjoyed reading Robert Jordan, Melanie Ron, David Eddings, and Anne McCaffrey. And his about page is cited on his page, but just about how he passionately read high fantasy as a teen. If he had said something like, Robert Jordan was born in 1948 on his self-published about page, we could not use that as a source for Robert Jordan. We would need a better source for that. There are some kinds of sources that we just don't use at all. Wikipedia doesn't allow websites with user-generated content as sources. For example, social media, most of the content there is generated by users, and also crowdsourced pages like wikis, Find a Grave, YouTube, and IMDb, they are not allowed as sources. There are exceptions to this. If Brandon Sanderson tweeted about himself, we could use that tweet as a source for him, for his page. And sometimes YouTube videos come from institutions that have editorial oversight, like videos from the Smithsonian. Those are okay to cite. This is just a basic overview. This general advice has exceptions, so I will address that in another video.